In this video, I will go over the Mercedes E63 AMG W211, showing this example with just 18,000 kilometers or 11,000 miles. Then, I will discuss what E63 buyers should look out for in today's market. I'd like to thank Collection 901 Automotive in Abbotsford, British Columbia, for providing this 2008 E63, which is currently for sale. I'll leave a link below to their website for more details. The W211 E63 was one of the first AMGs offered with the M156 V8 engine. It was released in 2006 and came to North America for the 2007 model year. The E63 replaced the supercharged E55 AMG as part of the facelift of the W211. With 507 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque, the hand-assembled M156 is a masterpiece that revs up to 7,200 RPM. The E63 is able to launch to 60 miles an hour in just over 4 seconds and pass the quarter mile in 12.5 seconds. And this is all while weighing in at 1,840 kilograms or 4,056 pounds. While its engine is technically a 6.2 liter, it had to be badged as a 6.3 in Germany because of vehicle tax reasons, as it is slightly larger than 6.2 liters. This is not a problem because 6.3 also nods to the historic Mercedes M100 engine of the 1960s. Either way, this car is from a time when the engines were big at AMG. As I've mentioned in previous videos, this is a racing engine for the street with a closed-deck engine block and bucket tappets under its 4 camshafts. The sound on startup is also very pleasant. This engine has a large power band with peak torque at 5,200 RPM, and after that it pulls very consistently to its strong top end. This is an exciting engine, but also surprisingly smooth and refined. Power is sent through a relatively fast 7G-tronic automatic transmission and a 2.82 rear axle ratio. The way the E63 drives is equally impressive to its engine. The steering has a good amount of feedback and a really nice weight to it. It's definitely heavier than newer AMGs, and that weight is a good thing. The Airmatic Sport suspension is comfortable over bumps, but you can stiffen it up with the Sport 2 setting. The brakes are highly competent, as Mercedes got rid of the SBC braking system for the E63 and went back to a traditional system. The pedal feel is reassuring, and the 6-piston calipers up front bite down on 14.2-inch 2-piece brake discs. Surrounding the silver brake calipers are classic AMG 5-spoke staggered wheels. The exterior styling is a strong point for the E63. I consider the W211 to be one of Mercedes' best styled sedans after the W124. The facelift for the W211 made the E63 more aggressive and sculpted, and is well complemented by this obsidian black paint. This is a well-proportioned sedan that is distinctively Mercedes when you look at it. The simplicity and elegance of the interior make it a nice place to be. The seats are comfortable, but still very supportive. The visibility is great in this car, and the interior just feels solid. Many people compare this car to the E55 that came before it. Clearly, the E63 is more refined than the E55. The M156 is smoother than the M113K engine in the E55. The steering and braking are better in the E63. The M156 is a very exciting engine with lots of power at the top end and a good mid-range. It, however, does not have that immediate thrust that the E55 has. In many ways, I would say that the E55 feels faster, and that extra 50 pound-feet of torque that you get in the E55 is noticeable for sure. However, considering that the E63 is naturally aspirated, it's a very impressive package. Going through the model years of the E63, 2007 was the first US model year. Base price in the US was $87,500 or $120,000 in Canada. The E63 wagon was also made available in North America. The 2008 model year was unchanged. And the 2009 model was the last year of this car, and the only change was that it featured the next generation of command navigation system. a total of 2,847 sedans made it to the US market, and only 165 wagons made it to the US. Moving on to options, while there were many exterior color choices, there were only a few interior choices, including black leather, gray leather, and brown leather. There was a choice of black bird's eye wood trim that we see here, or burl walnut wood trim. You also had the option of getting AMG carbon fiber trim on the interior as well as on the exterior of the car. For the US, there were two premium packages. P1 got you active ventilated front seats and a power rear window sunshade. P2 included P1 plus the headlamp washing system, the bi-xenon active lighting system, cornering fog lamps, and the keyless go push-button start. More options were offered, including Distronic adaptive cruise control and an electronic trunk closer. The panoramic sunroof was another option, as well as Parktronic parking sensors. Voice control was another option, and of course, rear side window blinds. This car being a Canadian example, it has the Canadian Premium package, which includes the options shown so far on this example, as well as heated rear seats. An important option on the E63 is the P30 Performance package. This added stiffer suspension, a limited slip differential, an Alcantara sports steering wheel, a raised top speed limiter to 300 km an hour or 186 miles an hour. Also, the package included exclusive 18-inch multi-piece wheels. You could also special order a CLK 63 Black Series steering wheel. Designo Espresso and Designo Graphite editions were also available on the E63. Now moving on to the reliability and maintenance of the E63, these are reasonable cars to own, considering the performance and refinement you get. Of course, the most talked about issues are with the engine. The M156 in the E63 has issues with its head bolts, cam adjusters, and camshaft wear. While these issues won't affect every single car, especially the ones with low mileage, these are things that you should keep in mind if you are buying one with medium or high mileage. Also, keep an eye out for worn engine mounts and leaking valve covers. I went into more detail on the issues with this engine in a previous video. As for the rest of the car, there is not much else to watch for. The aromatic struts are known to leak, usually at higher mileages, but you can get good aftermarket replacements that are not too expensive. Sticking with the suspension, front control arm bushings and ball joints can wear out on the W211. Like other 211s, the fuel sender can also cause problems by leaking, but fuel tank components are still under warranty as of 2021 in the US. The transmission should be serviced every 40,000 miles and may eventually require a conductor plate to be replaced at higher mileage. The brakes on the E63 can be quite expensive to replace. For an entire set of front pads and discs, you are looking at $900 US just for parts. Looking at the market for E63s, prices differ greatly based on mileage and condition. On the low end, you can get an E63 for less than $15,000 US with about 100,000 miles. Spend $20,000 and you can get a great car with 60,000 miles. For a perfect car with 10,000 miles that has no flaws and a spotless record, you are looking at over $40,000. Most of these cars were driven to high mileages, so it's rare to find one that has been preserved. E63 wagons also carry a higher price than the sedans due to their rarity. With that being said, the E63 W211 is one of the best cars to own with the M156 engine. And with engines getting smaller and smaller in newer cars, this E63 is the real deal. Thanks for watching, and if you want to support the channel, take a look at my store, link is in the description. If you want to see more AMG content, subscribe for more videos like this one.